I'm going to show you how to become a full-time day trader with this roadmap so you'll know exactly what you should be expecting month to month and how long it's going to actually take for you to realistically make $10,000 per month through day trading. So the first month, from month one to month two, you're kind of in this what I call the crawling phase, basically. The reason why is that you fully learned the strategy, the concept, the understanding of the NK University strategy. You actually have taken your first trades, which means you're winning some trades. You've won some money, but you're, for one, not consistently making $10,000 per month, but you're also definitely not consistent when it comes to your profitability from a trading perspective. So if you're in the first 1 to 2 months, this is basically where you are. And believe it or not, even though you fully understand the concept, you really only have 10% from understanding from the depth and understanding of knowledge of how to do trading as a whole. One of the reasons is because there's a misconception people typically kind of have when it's you're in the first month or 2 months. Because a lot of people, they think impatiently that just because this example, you've maybe taken 10 trades that you're a professional. Or put the way I have it written here, they think impatiently that just because you've drove 10 times, it's your first time learning how to drive, that you think you can drive a car alone. You've only taken 10 trades. Or in this example, you've only driven a car 10 times in your entire life. It's your first time driving. You're not, of course, you're not going to be good yet. Of course, you're not going to be one of the best traders out there. Of course, you're not going to be making $10,000. And further than that, of course, you're not going to be consistent. It doesn't make any sense. Even if you just did, drive a car 10 times for the first time in your entire life, you're learning how to drive, you're still in the process of learning. You haven't even gotten your permit. You haven't gotten your license. You haven't driven alone. You haven't done multiple things. You're still in the 10% of understanding. It's only been 2 months. So for a lot of people to have the misconception to think that they should be doing well because they fully understand the concept, that's the simple part. You haven't even realistically used the strategy long enough for you to be able to be consistent because you don't have enough data to prove what works and what doesn't work for you in the first place. So it doesn't make any sense. Or a different example, especially month one and month two, now I can think about it, is that you can see this as from a bigger picture perspective, because this is month one, month two. Bigger picture, you can see this as, hey, I just now graduated college because I just now learned the strategy. I understand the concept. But realistically, if you just graduated college, you can't do anything. You just book smart, which, if we're being realistic, is useless. Just being honest. I mean, it's great that you understand the concept. You went through 4 plus, maybe 5 years of school. You understand this and that. But you go into the real world, they're like, hey, that's not actually how we do things at all. We do things this way. This is step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The book stuff makes sense. That's not what we do. You're like, oh, okay. I'll just throw all that out the window because I don't have the experience. This is you being inexperienced because you're crawling. Now, next step is the first steps. Month 3 to 4, to me, after you've learned the strategy, and FY month 1 to 2, that's when we have our one-on-one coaching program specifically. So we actually get you to be up to par to actually fully learn the concept and speed up this process. But just leave that there. Month 3 to 4, at this point, you should have 30% of the understanding because of the concepts you've been implementing over time, and you're seeing more things that are starting to look similar more and more and more. So at this time, you should be still doing on-demand practice, which inside of the Thinkorswim platform, when you're actually doing day trading, means that you can click a button that says on-demand. You can practice fake trades with fake money, and you should be doing 15 of these fake trades on a daily basis. This is not a on daily basis. Excuse me. This is not a I'm gonna practice 1 time a week or I'll practice 1 time a month, maybe twice a week. This is you should be practicing daily because you just learned how to drive, excuse me, or if you just graduated college, you're now in the actual live market more seriously in the month 3 or month 4. You need to be practicing a lot until you've met your goal of making $10,000 per month day trading. You don't have time to just sit back, relax, and I'll just do some trading when it happens. If you're serious, you should seriously be practicing more than your actual trading. So this is that, but scale wise, from a live perspective, with your live money, you over here, you should have been trading with one contract, which only costs on average about $100. Over here, as long as you're still able to be consistent, at least with my strategy, you should be winning at least 70% of your contracts. Month 3 to 4, by now you should be able to scale to 5 contracts, which is about $500, basically. Same day expiration, SPY contracts specifically. If you see my other videos that I'll talk about. And here's another piece here. on your first steps, as more often than not, people at this point, they're envious, really, unfortunately. And you'll notice a trend on a lot of these pieces down here. This is impatient. This is envious, and a couple other things going up forward. But 3 to 4, you're envious from comparing your quote unquote maybe $300 profit trades to other people's $10,000 wins, period. Meanwhile, they literally could have been trading for 3 years already before you, hence the experience, as I talked about, or just more than likely, anyway, for most people that are sharing their trades, they just maybe had one lucky trade. And you look at their trade, and it makes absolutely no sense. But then you start piecing on to different things, thinking, you know what, maybe this will make sense, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. I'll just do what they're doing. And you get off track. And this, you being at month 3, makes you go all the way back to month 1 because you're not following the strategy. You're following the strategy plus tagging on extra things from other people. So make sure when you get to month 3, month 4, don't look or listen to anyone. Only focus on what's going on inside your head singularly. And if you can do that and ignore the other people and ignore the other trades and ignore all the other fluff, then you can actually be consistently profitable because no one else is in your head but you. So, different example. Imagine being a doctor and comparing yourself if you're only 3 months in, by the way. Yes, you're a doctor, but you're only 3 months into being a doctor. This is what this is. You're comparing yourself to someone who has been at it for years. Sure, you understand what they may be doing, but do you really? Right? Sure, you may. Maybe you're a brain surgeon. I'm going to go off a tangent that I don't fully understand, but maybe you're a brain surgeon. You understand all the different pieces of the brain. Fine. But have you actually done a surgery on the brain? Have you done any kind of diagnosis on the brain? Have you done any of that in reality? Or have you only read about it? Or have you only done one surgery with you not being the lead surgeon, but you being the secondary one or the third one, or you in the background? Like you haven't been lead, you haven't done any of this. You're only a month 3 to 4. You only have a 30% understanding. You're not ready to make $10,000 per month because you still need time. People have the misconception that hey, it's been 3 months, 4 months, I should be killing it. No, you should not. Put it from a job perspective. In 3 to 4 months, are you the senior person at the entire company? No, that doesn't make any sense. And as a result, are you the one making the most money? No, you're not. You just graduated. You just started the job. You're only 3 months in. You might as well still be an intern. Like realistically, it's fine. So make sure you don't have your big expectations so large that it gets in the way of your actual long-term process realistically. Because you want to make money consistently, and to become consistent, you need to actually consistently continue to do this practice right here, the 15 trades, on a daily basis, every single month. And I guarantee after a while, you start seeing the same trades over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Then you start saying, huh, I should probably click buy on this thing because this makes sense. I've seen it 10,000 times when practicing. And that's not a fake made up number. At a certain point, you should get to 10,000 actual practice trades. Sure, it's not that fun, but I don't care. This is you making money. This is you potentially taking care of your family, your friends, your people close to you. This is not supposed to be fun and cool and full of this old Lambo bullshit, just to be honest with you. This is you being taking this job seriously and actually trading and practicing so you can actually get past the crawling stage, get past the first steps, and start walking. So without further ado, next thing, month 5 to 6. At this point, you maybe have more than likely a 50% understanding, and that's because at this point, you should also be upgrading your on-demand practice trades. You went from 15 trades on a daily basis to 20 trades on a daily basis, which may sound crazy because you're thinking, well, we're doing more months, so I should be doing less. No, you should be doing more because you could speed up your actual learning. And before in the past, let's just say you might be saying, well, why didn't we just do like 20 here, 25, 30, etc.? Well, you're finding the correct things to actually that you understand, that you implement. You'll be doing a trade. You'll try to go back and understand how this worked, how it didn't work, etc. You're doing a lot more analysis on this, on these months here. Over here, it's a lot of analysis, but now it's you understand how to do the analysis faster. So now you can get more data into your own brain to see more data sets for you to actually be able to practice the trades on. So it makes more sense. So by month 6, 5 to 6, You have more practice that you need to be doing. On the live trades, at this point, you should be able to scale up to 20 contracts, which about is from a financial perspective is you buying about $2,000 worth of trades, worth of contracts for SPY, and of course keep that 70% win ratio. But misconception time. Apparently, for unfortunately, the reason why I'm going to say here, this is very, very, very common for people in this phase, especially the 5 to 6 month mark if you haven't met it already. But a lot of people, they're really ashamed to tell their family and friends that you're still not as profitable as you want to be after quote unquote 6 long, grueling months of you doing so many different things. But in reality, they just don't understand good things take time. Or another way of thinking about it is that people don't realize that the quote unquote overnight success story is happening right in front of them whenever it's actually happening in front of them. They just see the end result of maybe over here when you're running. But month one, two, three, four, five, six, they just see it as like, oh, this guy and gal is crazy. They're just wasting all their time. They should be spending time with their kids. He's saying or she's saying they're going to be making all this money from trading, but this dude's been at it for 6 months and he's still broke. He's wasting his time. That's where all the mess starts happening. You'll be surprised the number of conversations I've had just on this alone and how to handle that and so on and so forth. Um, and realistically, I mean, it depends on you and how you want to handle it. But for most people, if you want to start the trading journey, I personally say you should do the following, which is just don't tell anyone. This is your thing. If you maybe had to tell your spouse, that's fine. But don't tell anyone else. Don't go tell your uncles and your grandma, grandpas, etc. Don't tell everybody that. There's too many people that know your business, your input, the things that you're trying to do because it's too much pressure onto you. So again, I don't believe you should tell other people your business of how you're trying to do things until you're doing well enough that you have something to tell them. No one wants to hear about your quote unquote grind up towards the ladder because they don't fully understand it. And they're not there to understand it when you really think about it. They're there because you love them, they're part of your family, or they're really close friends, and they want to be able to support you, and they can support you when they see that you're able to stand on your own 2 feet. If you can't stand on your own 2 feet, they feel like they want to protect you and they think, hey, if he's doing 6 months, 5, 6 months of this or she, and they're not there yet and they're quote unquote wasting money, I'll protect you by saying, hey, you know what? You shouldn't do this. Relax. Go back to work. Go back to your job. Go back to your 9 to 5. Continue to do that. Focus on that. Get a promotion. They might lay you off. Don't worry about that. There's always another job. This doesn't seem like it's working for you. They don't understand. But I'm telling you, I do understand. I've been there. A lot of people have been there. This is a common path, roadmap, if you will, for a person that wants to become a full-time day trader. So make sure you follow this. A little quote down here I came up with is that a person, and I really want you to remember this. Please, if you don't remember anything I'm saying here, remember this piece down here. A person with more patience will win more money over time after 1 year than someone who only tries for 6 months. And I want to say that again. A person with more patience will win more money over time after 1 year than someone who only tries for 6 months. Because for you and for most people, or maybe for you, we'll talk about for you might think 6 months is such a long time, but it's not. Life is realistically long. I know a lot of people say it's short. It's realistically long in the terms of understanding of how long it takes to learn a skill and master a skill. If you take 6 months to be really good at this and you live another 20, 30, 40 years, depending on your age, that's just a drop in the bucket. You have time. Take your time. Let this take your time. In the micro, do a lot of stuff, do a lot of these practice trades, 20 trades daily, 15 trades daily, depending on where you are, etc. But in the macro, be okay with being relaxed. Take your time. Be like, you can say, hey, I'm not there yet. It's been 6 months. That's okay. I'm gonna be there at some point. I'm not gonna let anyone. I'm gonna just grind my way to it. But that's walking.
If you're looking to become a consistently profitable day trader that makes $10,000 per month, then go ahead and visit mkuniversity.com/info to get started. We provide one-on-one coaching for 2 months, and that way we actually hold your hand and walk you to becoming successful with our specific day trading strategy, which is trading one strategy with one ticker and day trading once per day so you can be successful long term and actually take care of your family. And it doesn't matter where you are, by the way. If you're new to trading or you're an experienced trader already, but you're still just not consistently profitable as a whole, we'll teach you everything from A to Z from the ground up so you can be consistent, so you can be profitable, and more important, you can do the things you want to do, when you want to do them, how you want to do them, and not have to be trading so much. Because the goal when it comes to trading is to get your life back and to get your finances in order so you can do everything you want to do. And by the way, we already have 1,003 video testimonials from people that are already successful using this strategy that you've been learning in this video. So if you want to be the next person, you want to be number 1,004, then go ahead and click the link in the description where it says apply for coaching, and you can go ahead and get started. And now back to the video.
Next piece is jogging, right? A little image here, kind of like you're jogging together. So 60% of what your understanding is at this point in time. You should be still ramping things up. You have a better understanding of how to do analysis on more trades because you've been seeing so many different patterns and they're starting to look the same. So on demand, 25 trades on a daily basis. And by the way, I'm including Saturday, Sunday. And by the way, big FY, I've been trading for years. I still practice in on demand on a daily basis. If I'm still doing that, why are you not doing that? Don't let me out practice you. That doesn't even make any logical sense. These are numbers that you should reference to, but nothing's wrong with going over. This could be 35. This could be 40. This could be et cetera, et cetera. As long as it's daily, then it's great. And a small tangent. You might be thinking daily's overkill, et cetera, et cetera. I'll take the weekends off. That's fine. You can take the weekends off if you want to. Or you know what? Maybe you don't have to practice, I don't know, maybe only one day a week. You're just like, I'll do a whole bunch of trades in a single day. That's fine. But I'll tell you what, the fact of which one do you think is better? You seeing trades every single day, or you seeing trades one time a day? Whenever you actually go do live trades, you'll feel more comfortable because you see it all the time on a daily basis. But if you only see it weekly, and then you jump it with real money on every other day, it's going to work against you. So don't try to cut corners with this. This is not maybe you should do some practice here and there and et cetera, et cetera. This is actually something you need to follow, but that's that. Live, exclude the 2 weeks, it shouldn't be in there. But at this point, you should be able to scale it to 40 contracts, which is $4,000. FY, if you realize this is still a long ways out, 7 to 9 months, depending on where you are on your journey. A lot of people, they like to get the 40 contracts back sometimes here, but sometimes a month 3 to 4. I don't personally think most people are ready for it realistically at this time frame over here, because if you're not really consistent. The only thing difference is just more money in the trade. You're still doing the exact same trades. That's fine. We just need you to be comfortably consistent with making money consistently, not comfortably consistent with making big amounts of money consistently. That comes later. The big emphasis is the word big, quote unquote. That comes way, way later. Screw that. Whenever you get to this point, you've been trading for 7 months versus trading with 3 months, you'll be so much more comfortable with trading more money that you're like, I've done how many trades at this point? 15, I don't even do the math. 15 times 30, right? Because there's 30 days in a month. That's a lot of trades plus all these months. So misconception here. So at this point, believe it or not, I know this sounds crazy for a lot of people, but when you get here, you get here. I've been here. A lot of people have been here personally that I've known and talked to and coached through one-on-one coaching. A lot of people here get cocky because you've had some really big wins. So sometimes at this point, you let your losers run way too far, resulting in your losses eating away at your wins, even though you're winning 70% of your trades. Because a lot of people don't fully know and understand that, but I'll break it down here, is that you can be winning 7 out of 10 of your trades, but 3 of the trades losses are so huge that the 7 out of the 10 winners mean nothing at all, right? And again, that really is very simple to happen if you've won for 6 months consistently, and you're like, you know what? I know this stuff works. I know how to make this stuff work as well. So this trade should work. I'm gonna just hold on to it. Screw you. I know what I'm talking about. Forget this thing. That's not the trading strategy. The trading strategy is 2-part. It's 3-part. Excuse me. Find the perfect entry, find the perfect exit for a win, and also find the perfect exit for a loss. my key component of what I actually focus on at this point in time, years into the journey, is focusing on where exactly is my loss. Because I want to have the smallest amount of losses possible from a financial perspective so that no matter what, my wins will always work. Because the strategy works 70% of the time, guaranteed, if you follow it to a T. We have 1,003 video testimonials of people that made it successful for it to happen. Just saying, that's proof enough right there. So if that's the case, then I just need to work the strategy. And if you win 70% of your trades just from the strategy alone, that means you're guaranteed to lose 30% of them. So you have to be okay with letting that 30% of the trades that you lose, which is guaranteed, to be a smaller subset of the trades, smaller subset of the financials that you lose as well. You have to accept the losses. It's part of the game. You can't win every battle because that's not possible. That's just not how it works. If it was, then I mean, there would be no. Think about it. If you could win 100%, there would be no point of a strategy because you just click buy and just let it run and then just win. There's no otherwise. There's no strategy needed. Strategy is needed because there's wins and losses, and you have to figure out how to associate good trades with the wins and bad trades. Sorry, good trades with the wins and yeah, bad trades with the losses and separate them so you do more of the good trades than the bad trades, but it's more, not all, right? So that's the piece there. You're jogging at this point. You have a 60% understanding of everything in the market because there's still so much that you can understand and grasp and see and actually learn, but you're almost there. And then last but not least is the running phase here, which to be honest is really not it. There is an arrow because your journey is still continuing. And so months 10 to 12, it's been a full year. You have a 70% understanding of the strategy and of how to be profitable. By this point, you're doing 30 trades on a daily basis. You're live trading with at minimum 60 contracts. And you probably at this point, interestingly enough, you've been able to make $10,000 a month with trading. But when you meet that goal, of making the $10,000 per month trading, you hit a very interesting roadblock, which is that now you're worried that your entire life and your family is now on your shoulders. This can cause you to initially be very proud of your accomplishments, but one loss or any loss, which again, as we talked about, is guaranteed, can cause severe anxiety about the next trades. The reason why is that if you can make money by you just clicking buttons on the computer and you don't have to go into work, it also means you're only trading 10 minutes max a day. So everyone's looking at you like this god of person that can make all this money. And everyone's like, man, if you can make another trade, I don't have to work either. Hey, could you make this trade so you can buy me a car? Hey, could you do this so you can do that? And before you know it, this is not for this type of video, your expenses have increased. And you've been making 10K a year, 10K a month from day trading, but your expenses have gone up. And by the way, before anyone says it, I know many people are going to say, when I get a bunch of money, I'm going to keep my expenses low. Proven over and over and over and over and over again. Sometimes that's the case. More often than not, it's not the case because you're excited, you're happy, and people also around you want to actually have experiences. Even if you do travel, travel costs money. So your expenses are going to go up. It's guaranteed. Over time, yes, it will flatline, potentially go lower, but up front, it will go up. It's just kind of part of the human existence as a whole from a financial perspective. Um, so overall, you have to be okay with the fact that sure, you're taking control, you're actually have all the weight on your shoulders from that perspective. And one trade can cause the anxiety for you to actually say, you know what, I don't think I can handle this. If I make a losing trade, I might not to be able to buy this one person, this one thing, and they'll get upset with me. If they get upset with me, then I won't be able to buy it. And if I can't buy the thing, they're going to go back to how it was in month 5 to 6 and say, you know what? I knew you couldn't do it. You think you're this, you think you're that. And it's just not how it works. So, month 10 to month 12, you have to still stay in that shell. Don't let too many people necessarily know that you're doing this, you're doing that. Let them know that, sure, you're successful. Let them know to be able to celebrate you're doing well, that you actually took the next step. But don't overburden yourself with so much of the financial pressure that every trade you take causes the anxiety. And overall, that it's still the time it takes, I believe, on how to become a full-time trader with this roadmap here. It takes, yes, the first month max to learn the strategy, as talked about over here. But if you want to actually be able to do this full time, it takes the 12 months, which is a full year. And keep in mind again, this still says 70% understanding by a year. There's always still stuff to learn. There's always still stuff to do. There's always still the next roadblock to overcome and overtake.